Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take it from the Iron Woman. We only have special guests, and today we go to Qin Gao. On her LinkedIn profile, it says endowed professor and associate dean for doctoral education, acting director of Asian American Initiative at Columbia University. So we have a few things in common, Columbia University, but also the coaching and the passion to support women to find their voices. Jin, very happy to have you. I'm happy that we can talk today and learn from you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Suzanne. Such a pleasure that we are reconnecting today. Your smile from the screen lights my day, so I'm very happy to be in this space with you. I am a professor at Columbia University. I'm also the acting director of Columbia's Asian American Initiative that hopes to uplift Asian American voices, conduct more research about Asian Americans, and push forward the dialogue and policies and action for Asian Americans because Asian Americans are part of America. That's a project I'm very passionate about. I've been an educator for 21 years. In 2005, I received my PhD, and since then, I've been a professor, a higher education leader in recent years. So I'm very passionate about conducting research, teaching, supporting young people, particularly women who often need a lift to find their voices, their agency. So happy to be having this conversation with you today.
I like the passion that you have. Where was the beginning of that passion, that where you are today?
Thank you. Such a profound question. Your question brings me back to my childhood memories. I was born in a small village in northern China. Back then, the village had maybe 300 people, a small town, small village. I was mainly raised by my grandmother. My grandfather was working in a town nearby, and my parents were working, also very busy. So mostly I was just with my grandmother. I remember when I was a toddler, she would take me to the farmland. And she had to work, but she had to also watch out for me. So she would tie a rope, one end around me, the other end on this pole in the middle of the farmland so that she could work. The rope would not be too long so that I wouldn't wander off, right, get lost. But it wouldn't be too short because then I had some freedom. It's an early memory, but it seems it's very fresh on my mind because I remembered that feeling that the two of us owned the world, the bright, big blue sky and this endless farmland. And we were kind of connected just between the two of us. We had this deep attachment and connection. But I was also free to walk around, explore. That kind of connection, this love to hold you close, but also allow you freedom, has sustained me for so long, so many years. Yes, my grandmother is my inspiration.
What a beautiful image that she was multitasking. As you know, women can multitask if we have to. So she had to work, but also she had to take care of you. And in a way, I see you wandering around as a little kid, like looking and being probably curious what will happen in the fields. And this year, the United Nations, their topic is also women and agriculture. Your story is right on what we can learn. And then your grandmother and you, and then Where does New York happen in your life?
Who knew New York would happen in my life? So when I was 6 years old, my family moved from the village to the town that was the county seat. So it's a city. That changed my life. My family converted from having the rural status to having urban status. And that enabled me to go to a school in the city, even though it's not considered one of these big, very developed cities. But I had access from then on to the urban education system, to the better teachers, to the infrastructure that was in the city. I benefited from that. And my whole family, my grandparents and my parents, emphasized education so much. They were just supporting. I also had a lot of freedom to play. That was a good era for me to both pursue knowledge, but also explore everything around me. And I went into college. In 1994, I went to college in Beijing. I wanted to major in something related to social justice. I chose law, but back then, China was starting social work as a new major, and they needed people to be in this new major because people didn't know what social work was about. And I, along with another about 50 plus students, got picked and put into the social work class. So we became one of the first cohorts to study social work in China. And when I was in the junior year in my college, we had 2 visiting professors from America who taught us for 1 month about social work. And that convinced me to come to New York to pursue my PhD in the future. That also changed my life. Without me having had this hope in my mind, who knew I would be coming to New York?
Well, then that's something else we have in common. Coming to New York, coming to the big world where all the opportunities and possibilities are. And then how did that life go on in New York?
Wow, New York, New York. I know you love New York too. I remember coming to New York in 2001. It's actually maybe 2 weeks before 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Such life-changing experience, many, and me included. When I first arrived, I remember New York City was so diverse, so vibrant, so welcoming. Everybody seemed to have an accent, minding their own business or connecting. I felt I fit right in. I remember this city just welcomed me, embraced me. And then, of course, 9/11 shaped me too, because I felt this whole city was in it together.
Yes.
We experienced so much. And even though I was just 2 weeks in at this city, I felt I was part of the city. This is going to be in my body, in my bones forever. And it just happened. I did my PhD. Then I got a faculty job also in New York. And I've stayed ever since, 25 years.
A long time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, my new home. I gave birth to 2 sons in New York. They are New Yorkers. So we are very much New Yorkers.
Oh, wonderful. And I know 9/11 was a tough time. For me, it was my last semester at Columbia, and we were talking about accounting, finance, and then September 11 happened, and this was, even the professor said it's horrible to talk about that when we need to take care of our families and friends. So yeah, it has shaped us, but New York is very strong, and
Yes.
we cannot give up. That's also another mantra that we learned in New York City.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. I wish we knew each other and we could give each other hugs back then.
Well,
Yeah.
probably we were on the same campus. I was at the Teachers College and you the School of Social Work. So we were just 5 minutes away from each other, had we known.
In those days, walking through campus, it has had a unique feeling, yet we were so connected. Recently, the World Trade Center has been rebuilt, this beautiful architecture, the Oculus. So my children and I go often to that site and it brings back memories. But as you said, New York City is strong and resilient. It's amazing. It's elegant. It's bright. It's sturdy. It's very inclusive because when we go, we see all kinds of people, locals, travelers. And the recent time we were there was a piano for the public to play. So it filled the space with music and just this holiday cheer. It's wonderful. I think so many things embody the New York spirit, and that is one of them.
Wow, a lot of, in a way, reflection, like with your grandmother coming to the US, living through September 11, but then also helping people is what I get through your story, and it doesn't end. So your professional trajectory is always helping people, being with people.
Thank you, Suzanne. So my research area is poverty and social policy. This actually aligns with my youthful goals to do something for social justice. I always wanted to figure out what caused poverty, what solutions can we use to address poverty at different levels, at both local and global scales. That's my research area, and I've done work in China, Vietnam, on the US, and many comparative studies. We also try to draw policy lessons. What can be done? What should the governments do to address poverty? Not only the material economic poverty, but also other forms of deprivation, even how to boost people's subjective well-being so that they have confidence, they have hope to face the many challenges life brings. So that's my main research area. And in recent years, I've expanded to study Asian Americans because this is a fast-growing population in the US, and it's also a very diverse population. There are over 20 different ethnicities within the Asian American population. So many different languages spoken, different cultures, traditions, especially in New York. This is such a big mix and vibrant, different community. So we want to understand how this population is doing, what they think, how they engage socially, politically, and then what policies and services are needed to meet their needs. So that's been a newer research area for me, but it also aligns perfectly with my leadership role at Columbia right now to lead the Asian American Initiative. So I'm very excited to bring the research and also opportunities for our students to be involved in this initiative.
That's amazing, because when you think Asia, it's one word and one world, but there's so many nuances. I mean, like China and then Indonesia or Philippines, these are not the same people. So it's important to make a differentiation. I'm curious. I'm a psychologist. I'm also a researcher. So this is really fascinating. And in my coaching role, I talk many times of cultural awareness. So we cannot just put all the Asians into one bucket, because that's the wrong approach.
I fully agree with you. Human beings are amazing, and every human being is different. We create these labels: race, ethnicity, location, gender, all kinds of things. But in coaching, it's really seeing the person in front of you. Everyone is so unique. Of course, we try to understand some common shared traditions, culture, characteristics, but that's only a tool for us to get to the individuals, the families, the communities we actually need to serve and support. New York is also in an interesting moment. We just witnessed the history. We've elected the first ever Asian American mayor. So that's something very new. And I think it's worth discussing and debating what that means for the city and for the many Asian Americans, both in New York and nationwide.
We're at a turning point, and your work certainly is very important. And before we recorded, we also spoke about March is the month when we celebrate women, and you're very supportive for the women and to find their voices and to be braver. So how can we support you?
Thank you, Suzanne. I think we have aligned vision and shared beliefs that women matter. Women have a lot to contribute for the world, and we are already doing that. It's just sometimes our voices are not amplified. Our positions are not considered important enough. So my hope is to speak up myself. I have to challenge myself to be brave, to be willing to be vulnerable, and then to say we are in this together and there are things we can do to find the agencies each of us has so that we can change the status quo together. I often think of my grandmother who has a huge impact on me. When I was in high school, I was soon to leave home. I knew I was going to get into a college. And I was talking to her. I said, Grandma, what do you hope for me for the future? She thought about it seriously. And she said, don't be like me. I was puzzled. I said, what do you mean? She said, I never had the opportunities to go to school, to be able to read, to earn a living, to work, to travel, to go someplace. And you have that. Just don't be like me. So I think of that. What powerful message. Part of it is very sad. She never had the opportunity. She was the caregiver for all of us, supported me to be able to study, pursue my dreams. But I think, okay, I have the responsibility to do everything I can to amplify my grandmother's voice, to honor all her sacrifices to put me here in New York. So I need to do more. I have to just not be satisfied with what I've achieved so far. I need to speak up more, take more action, support other women so that, okay, more women can say, I now have the opportunity. I can claim my agency. I will make the world a better place. And that is to honor my grandmother.
And how will you do that? Now, this is more like a coaching question.
Wow, that's your call for action for me. I appreciate this question. I think first and foremost, women need to have confidence, believe in themselves, believe that our experiences matter, and let no one tell us what you experience, how you feel is trivial. No, not at all. Everything we experience, everything we endure matters. So we have to have that confidence. Secondly, we have to speak up. We have to claim our voices because if we don't, other people will. And that's not good enough. That's not okay. So we need to be brave, be vulnerable to share our stories, including our grandmother's story, our aunt's story, our mother's story, our sister's story, because they matter. And together, there's your strength. And then thirdly, I think we each have to claim our agency because you could know all of this, but you need to act. We need to have agency, make small changes. So for example, at the workplace, at home, have a small negotiation and then have a small win and celebrate. All of this matter. I do that through my education and coaching. So I teach many students. Of course, I teach all my students, not just women students. Part of the education is beyond knowledge and skills. It's really to support and enable the students to see themselves clearly, to find the confidence, to find their own agency, and then not be shattered by these metrics or judgments that are imposed on them so that they be the best who they are, who they want to be. And then through coaching, I really love the coaching approach because it's individual centered. It's the faith and confidence in each person having their power, having their inner strength to find the tools, resources to reach their goals. In my teaching and education, I've incorporated some coaching practices. For example, last semester, I taught a doctoral class. We had 8 students, and I ran it as a group coaching weekly session. Every week, I didn't start by teaching them about the career journey, how to make a presentation, how to professionally network. I started with the coaching questions, figuring out who you are, your identity, your community, what kind of persona or presence you would like to have, what kind of impact you would like to have. And the best part is it's not just individuals who will discover their journey. It's the peer support. It's the group dynamic that support each other. So that in the end, everybody had so much growth, including me. So I appreciate that so much.
This is such a strong message, that group coaching, that you think like it's only for one person, but the group dynamics can elevate others as well. And we can learn from each other, and including you as the role of an educator. It should be a two-way street, that you also learn from your students. Wonderful.
That's so true. Yeah. So I want to echo you, because we think ourselves as educators, professors, but truly we learn so much from our students, and we are peers in that learning environment. I benefit so much, and they are truly my inspiration, my students.
Yeah. So you can be their grandmother, as your grandmother told you, don't be like me.
I hope we will walk this walk together as peers, as supporters of each other. Honestly, the young people, they're so brave. They think ahead of us. So I feel like I cannot even claim a more senior role, but I would be very willing and eager to walk this path together with them, explore, and be brave and vulnerable. Be brave and vulnerable together.
What are the hopes for you? You go with the students, be vulnerable, go together. Any other wisdom that you have for the listeners, for the students that are on the path with you?
Thank you. I think I will share two. One is to believe and to act so that we change the world. We make the world a better place. And I truly believe we have that power, and we just need to use that power. Secondly, take care of ourselves, center on the self, but going inward, because to enable us to use our power, we need to have good self-care. We need to take care of our body, our mind, so that we are part of this world, but we exist peacefully with positive energy, and then we can do the great things we're destined to do.
Wow. Thank you so much. Excited and also uplifted to do great work with you and with others. So that's why we have the podcast, and we want to elevate many other people who are listening to us here today. Thank you so much, Qin.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all the wisdom we were able to learn from you, and also learn from your grandmother. Be different than I am. Many opportunities and possibilities are ahead of us. We just need to take action. Take it from the Iron Woman. We have episodes every Monday. Come and join us. Listen and learn with people from around the world. And Take It from the Iron Woman is also the book Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. We have a new initiative, Get Fit in 2026. This means get mentally fit. It's not about running, it's about leadership. Come and join us. We're less than 1,000 days away from the LA Olympics.